Now, when starting calisthenics, bodyweight strength, it's so important to start working on your mobility and flexibility. I'm talking from experience. I started my journey into this style of training at 37 years old. I struggled to touch my toes, couldn't sit in a resting squat, and I was nowhere near a straddle pancake position. And my goals were straddle press to handstand, freestanding handstand push-ups, muscle up and ring routines, planches and levers, a consistent and strong freestanding handstand, and then eventually I wanted to achieve the one-arm handstand. Now, obviously, to achieve those skills, you need a great deal of strength, conditioning, balance. But the one thing that ties it all together and makes your positions way more efficient, makes things much easier, is starting to increase your flexibility and your mobility. And I highly recommend that you start today. And in this video, I'm going to go through the key movements that I'd recommend that you start. You just need to work out the best progression of each one that fits your current level. Now, the first movement is the passive hang. I'd highly recommend that you do this daily. Find something to hang on. It could be a bar like this. It could be rings. It could be the kids' playground. This is going to improve your shoulder health, and it's just going to stretch from head to toe in one simple movement. Start with just a standard overhand grip, and then you can progress to underhand and even eventually work up to one-arm hangs. And then staying with the hanging variations, find yourself a bar or rings that you can go into a German hang. Now, this movement is amazing for stretching all of the shoulders, especially around the pecs. You can start with toe assist. You can slowly increase the range of motion, and then you can go into a full body weight position where you're holding all of your weight in an active but stretched position. Now, a similar but different movement is the bottom of the dip. Again, this movement can be done with toe assist. Build up time and conditioning in that position. Keep the arms nice and close to your torso, and then work up to the point where you can take all of your body weight. And these movements are not just going to stretch and open the body up, but they're going to condition the challenging part of the skills, the pathway, so the bottom of the dip, the point where you change direction and have to come back up again, or part of the transition for the muscle up. So having conditioning, range of motion, and control there is super important. And then a very important bottom position is that squat. Initially, you might need to use a heel lift and just slowly build up capacity in the position until you can do it barefoot for at least 2 or 3 minutes. Then we can look at more of the static positions. That is a great way to warm up before your sessions, and are all positions that you can slowly improve and are easily measurable. So let's look at the quad stretch when we go up against the wall. Now, the goal with this one is to keep the torso as upright as possible, and then just move slowly back closer and closer to the wall until you get to the point where you can move your foot to the side, get the butt to the wall, and then eventually go into a posterior tilt. So tuck the pelvis under and get the low back to touch the wall, all while maintaining that upright torso position. Now, the forward fold position is super important. It's going to make things like L-sits, press to handstands, toes to bar, anything where you have to fold the body much easier. So building control and depth here is really important. Now, I'd attack it in 2 different ways: single leg and double leg. So double leg are going to be things like forward fold, where you're just focusing on trying to keep the knees locked backwards and lengthening the spine as much as possible. Jefferson curl, which is similar to the forward fold, it's just we articulate the spine on the way down with soft knees, straighten the knees or straighten the legs at the bottom, and then lengthen the spine as much as possible. And then for the single leg variations, we can do it in a lunge position or elevate the foot up in the air. Then we have opening the glutes up. Now, the best way to do this is in some sort of pigeon variation. If you're a bit tighter, it's much easier if you elevate the foot up or elevate the leg up in the air. Just try and keep everything square and the back as flat as possible. And then we have one of the most important positions in calisthenics and handstands, the straddle pancake position. Now, this is very, very important for things like press handstand, entries and exits to planche, and just a great way to train the hamstrings, the glutes, the adductors, and even the spine. You just want to find a level that's comfortable for you and that's not going to put too much tension on the back. So you might need to raise the hips up or even bend the knees when you first start, and then just slowly lower what you're sitting on. Now, you'll find programs, follow along videos for not only the stretches but also the skills in my app. I also offer online coaching on my website, so check out that. It's www.paultwyman.com.au. Drop any questions or requests down below. Thumbs up and subscribe would be appreciated, and I'll speak to you in the next one.